Welcome to the podcast world. It's very important to introduce myself all the time because I believe someone is watching the podcast for the first time. My name is Israel Matseke Zulu. Welcome to Israel Matseke Zulu podcast. Ladies and gentlemen, allow me to introduce my guest today, Lemogang Tsipa. My brother, thanks for coming.
Thank you. It's an honor to be here.
Yeah, thank you very much. I'm humble uh, when we request for you to come. You didn't give us a problem. You just responded positively. I highly appreciate it.
Anytime.
Anytime, ne? Otherwise,
Angimnandi.
Mnandi, ne?
Mina.
Yeah, no, le Mfalakiti is not an interrogation or an interview. Yeah, we are not putting people in the corner.
Yeah.
It's all about profiling people we believe deserve to be profiled. People know you by the characters from television, the work that you did, but I believe it's very important for people to know you more than what they see on television. Who's Lemogang Tsipa?
Lemogang Tsipa is, first and foremost, an actor. I'm a musician. From Bangeni, small town.
Yeah.
Came to Joburg with big dreams, and day by day, I'm seeing what
Yeah.
I was dreaming about coming to life, which is nice. But yeah, just a humble individual that loves life, loves creating, and yeah.
All the way from Pangeni.
Yes, sir.
How easy it was, or how difficult it was coming from Pangeni to come to Johannesburg and make your dream come true?
So firstly, ngaqala Cape Town,
Yeah.
because I studied there. So I started it. This Cape Town scene is a bit smaller than Joburg. Cape Town's not as fast as Joburg.
Yeah.
So it was easy to kind of get my feet and an understanding of the business. And that's actually where I met Munin Lee.
Okay.
Who,
Or you met in Cape Town?
Yeah. She was casting that side, and I was reading auditions for her.
Okay.
And then advised me to move to Joburg.
Okay.
To help get my career to the next level. So when I came here, knowing her, it made things a lot easier than if you just come to Joburg and you don't know anybody. Because at the time, she was the go-to person for a lot of things, so it really helped to transition.
So you were helping Moni in terms of reading for audition.
For auditions, yeah.
That's how you met.
That's how I met.
And then when originally the inspiration of becoming an actor and musician, when did it start?
So music came first. In Duan, I think I was about 11 in said church.
Okay.
And I used to watch the worship team do their thing. But I really liked my drums more than anything.
Okay.
So when I was 11, I drums, this guy plays and then he used to teach me like from time to time after every Sunday. So I really fell in love with music at that point. And acting would do like I'm up playing naked, every time at church and even in school and Christmas like that.
Yeah.
So, but I never thought of it as a career, because for me, whenever I'd watch TV, those people I didn't imagine were real people. When they might be like their box.
Yeah.
Until I got to high school, and then there was some kids that were in high school with us, but I think I was in grade 8, different matric. Bahamba Bona, they went to after Joburg, some went to Cape Town. And then when I got to grade 10, they came back and started telling us about this industry and all these things. And then it started becoming more real. And then that's when I started doing drama in grade 8, but then in grade 10 that's when I started taking it more seriously.
Okay, what was your dream at school? What were you studying for?
So my initial plan, was something to do with property. I wanted to either be an architect or a town planner or something like that. And then I just fell in love with acting because I realized even at school, it was the one class where I had the most fun. I
Yeah,
was used to be a class clown.
playful in class.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was the only class I could really be myself in, and relax and have fun. So when I found out I could do this for a living, I was like, wow, it's really cool. And then, I started taking it more seriously.
So after matric, you went straight to acting.
Straight to
You
acting.
didn't go further with the studies.
No. I saw there that, hey, if I don't, because Umawami, when we growing up, she'd always wanted to be a doctor, but obviously growing up in the time she grew up in, the circumstances didn't allow her to follow her dream. And I saw how hard that can be in Umuntu to live a life where in the back of your mind or in another imagination, so for me, I never wanted to experience that. Um, and obviously, it wasn't an easy conversation to tell my parents I want to be an artist.
Yeah.
And at the time, Susamum Dada, she's a really smart girl who passing all A's, passing number one in school in Ufunde UCT. She's studying actuarial sciences. Ngapha mina
Funa ukuba celebrity.
Yeah. So
nabazali abayizwisisi.
I lutho. It was a tough conversation to have. But eventually, in about twist and chingago, and I was able to convince them that I'll do this thing and that I can make a living from this.
So, umZulu.
Hey, more complicated for Mandam.
Yeah.
By culture, I'd say umZulu, but ekhaya ubaba uMpedi and mama uMtswana. It's just I was born and raised in Bangkok, so mix masala. Ngilento uMandela bekhuluma ngayo i-Rainbow Nation.
So kuza kanjani kube noMtswana noMpedi eKZN?
So my parents bafundele eLongoye, the University of Zululand. And then that's where they both met each other, and then they ended up finding work that side of the world.
Okay.
So once wathola ispan nomuntu ozomshada, it's very hard to move your life. I mean, my parents did try to move back here. I think I was about 1 or 2. Babuye Gauteng, but babona ukuthi ayakuhlangana.
Yeah.
So they had to go back, and I'm very glad they did.
So your first breakthrough.
Yes.
What's your first film?
The first film I shot was a very bad American movie called Alien Outpost. When we shot it, Benitez would I say Hollywood. Lana.
Yeah.
Next year,
you were overseas.
Yeah, straight.
Yeah.
Because the director was also, it was a big deal. Ube Game of Thrones, ube Shy VFX corner, the cinematographer and I were shooting big shows that side. So Tina Besage and would high. That's how the little my banjana were gone high.
Yeah.
So that was the first time I really got to work on a movie. But I'd say my first breakthrough role was actually with you, Beyond the River.
Yeah.
That one was the first movie that really changed my career and my life, and really allowed me to meet Abantu that can help me have a sustained career like.
Yeah. Beyond the River was the first, and then the second.
The second one I'd say is Tembiso.
Oh, Tembiso.
Yeah. That was my first soapy on TV. That's the first time I started my selfie. It was just a weird moment where you kind of cross over from being just an artist to being what people call a celebrity now. And then the biggest one so far is Ushaka.
Yeah.
That one really, just changed my life.
Yeah.
Because I was way fish manje. Before I'd get away and humble silhouette manje, which is.
Are you aware that you are the second Shaka in the history of
Hey,
entertainment.
it's a crazy
And
thing.
the first one, Henry Cele.
Yes, sir.
So when you are the second one,
Yes.
ufile kanjani uma uthola le character?
It's a blessing and a curse because the blessing part is obviously it's a dream role.
Yeah.
It's something everybody, wants. But the curse is the expectation, man. But many people wanted to sue Henry on screen. And I'm like, "Eish, but I'm not,
Yeah, the
I'm not
pressure.
a black cat.
Yeah.
So yeah, there was definitely a huge amount of pressure and expectation of what people want and how I must present Ushaka. But for me, I think it was something I was welcoming that challenge. I don't feel there's something that's impossible for anybody to do if you're committed to it. So yeah, I was committed to doing well in this part.
How was the preparation for the character of Shaka?
It's the hardest thing. Before this, the hardest thing for me was Beyond the River because we had to learn how to canoe, how to get fit, how to run around. But the Nushaga had different challenges. So the first one was physically having to look like a boy staring, getting in shape and all that.
Muscular.
Yeah, so when ngahlala no Mr. Gibson, and there's two parts to Shaga's story in season 1. There's the part where he's young and there's the part like Kulako. So initially the plan was shoot at the parts like the corner. So when Chima got big and then I was gonna lose weight to play the young part. 3 weeks before the shoot to end, I said, medicine,
transform.
made him lose it.
Must be young.
Yeah, so I had to go from I think I was about 78 kilograms.
Yeah.
I went to 69 in 3 weeks. So then I treadmill in gym. And that was really challenging on the body. And then halfway through the shoot, I had to start bulking up again, which also now, it's not easy. After I said 12 hours, maybe would gym for another 2 hours and from this so that was the first challenge. The second one was the language.
Yeah.
Because Nezulu, Sakhona is a different Asikempange. I was born, some of the words and phrases that we use there are very different from the type of language. So it was a tough adjustment.
How did you meet Angus Gibson?
Angus Gibson, I met him on. So there's another movie. Hey, all my stories link back to you.
Back
of the Moon, yeah. So Back of the Moon, Angus would say Castile, and he had wanted Warren Masemola to
play the ghost.
Yeah, and then at the time I figured this movie called Five Fingers of Marseille, and Wolf and Warren, and he was committed to that project.
Yeah.
So Angus lost his villain. Hey, Moon. Wangfonela there's this really great director I want you to meet, Angus Gibson. I'm like, everybody knows Angus.
Yeah.
He's one of the biggest legends in the local film and television industry. So I had breakfast night arranged by Munin, and we just spoke. And me at the time, I'm just thinking it's just a conversation. You're just meeting Umuntu for lunch, Uzengazi, so he can know that I'm around. And he ended up asking me questions. Would I ever play a villain? What. And I said, no, I'd love to, because at the time I was cast in good boy roles like in Beyond the River and all this other stuff. And then he saw something in me, and then that's when it happened. 2-3 weeks later, I'm Fonela, come Spalding.
Yeah.
Without an invitation. I was very shocked. I was like, okay. And yeah, that's when our relationship really began.
Yeah, I know the question I'm going to ask now. Most of the actors, they don't like it. Which role you think you've played it well?
It has to be a Ghost.
Ghost.
I had too much fun there.
Yeah, I remember.
I think for me, part of acting, a large part of it, as much as it's a very serious job that we do, but I think it's important to have fun.
Yeah.
And that's the first time I really had fun.
Yeah.
Angus it still is a very interesting director where he allows you to be creative. He allows you to bring whatever you imagine, and then he'll mold it after that. A lot of directors first give you the box and tell you work with a framework. Angus lets you go the first 2 takes. If he doesn't like it, then then you take. So it was the first time I got to work with a director like that and to be given the freedom to do whatever. And I really got to build walk umuntu that's different, the way he
Mm,
spoke, yabo, indlela ebebhema ngayo, like all the
mm,
things I really
mm,
got to
mm.
build from the ground up.
Yeah,
So
no, I remember the character very well. It was the most dangerous character,
yeah, yeah,
most scary. It
yeah,
was the real ghost.
yeah.
So, where did you live? Your first place in Johannesburg?
First place, Bentley Oakland Park.
Yeah.
No, I'm lying. I'm lying.
Mm.
That's my first house alone. The
Yeah.
first time I forget Goli, Bentley Kempton Park. Nomunye umngani wami emqasheni.
Mm.
We were sharing a room, sharing a bed.
Yeah,
It
yeah,
was
yeah.
not ideal.
Yeah.
But then, fortunately, I think a month or two into it, I got work, and then I
Mm.
was able to afford my own place.
Okay.
But the first place I stayed with Clement Menges at Kempton Park, and then after that, now you're at Auckland Park in this nice house with umngani wami uThus Madala.
Mm.
So yeah, we lived there.
Yeah, I think I know the house there. We've been there one day, Captain Park.
Yeah,
Towards the corner, ne?
yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, angiyakuzwa mfana semzini. So, how's industry for you right now?
No, I'm loving it. I think I've been very blessed me in my career. I haven't spent a lot of time unemployed. So for me, my industry experience isn't negative in any way. I
Yeah.
just have good things to say about the industry, but I also understand ukuthi the position in Ngoyo is very unique. There's not a lot of artists that kind of come to a new city and find work back to back. So me, I'm loving it. I'm very blessed. I'm very happy with where I am, and I'm glad that I met the people that I did. Because Munin actually, we once is cool in shaping my my career and helping me understand the position that I was in. Like in Figure Kodi, work was scarce, but not. I was never hungry, but she taught me how to say no to projects, which I think made the biggest difference in my career. I look at the way people speak about me and the work that I do, and it's not because I'm better than anybody or whatever, but I've been able to say no to projects that I don't feel are right, and the ones I've said yes to, my gut, what's right, and therefore they've just helped abantu to make more and take me more seriously.
And then when she passed away, Monin Lee, how did you felt about it?
No, that was terrible. It's like losing Ukoko, She's somebody who was more than just an agent for me. She was like a mentor. She was a friend, She's somebody that I could, and it's the first time I had an agent like that. So umuntu uvele umfonele umtshele inkinga zakho ekulandele ezama ukukusiza, It wasn't just business with her, which, was very unique. But yeah, it was tough when she left because we had plans, on moving my career to an international kind of stage. She helped introduce me to agents overseas. So yeah, no, it was a tough time when she left, but we're still out here fighting.
It was during lockdown, eh?
During lockdown,
and we didn't got a chance to bury her. There was no funeral.
It was weird, man.
It was nothing like that.
Yeah, it's like uvele wanyamalala, out of thin air. So it was.
No, we say rest in peace to Monin Lee. Yeah, Nami, she was my mother. She's still my mother. So yeah. Monin Lee, she played a major role for a lot of upcoming and professional artists. So now you've worked with a lot of icons, top actors and actresses. Onomzamo, Owen Sejake, Israel, Mateke Zulu. First time you met me,
Yeah.
what was you thinking?
I was too scared. I don't want to lie. I was too scared. Firstly, you're one of my favorite actors, so it's hard to draw a line between being a fan and being a professional. So ngapha, hey, ngifeli selfie, but I'm like, okay, vele, but say shooting movies, so kuzoba nesithombe la ngivela nawe khona.
Noma kanjani.
Noma kanjani,
Yeah.
But also, your stage prowess and the way you just do it so easily, I think I was very inspired, but also intimidated because I was also coming into the movie. The first movie I think we worked on together was Beyond the River.
Yeah.
So I'm supposed to be the lead role, but hey, Al Pacino la would say, I
Like
hope,
competition.
I hope performance I'm survive, because the scariest thing is being in a position where you're supposed to carry a project and everybody ends up talking about everybody around you and they're like, he was okay. So I was scared of that. But then once, about to speak to you, I realized, you're a very collaborative person. You're a very easy person to work with, and you have a lot of wisdom that I learned from.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, no. We had a great time.
Did.
So after my amputation,
Yeah.
how did you feel?
It was shocking for me first,
Mm.
but I know you. I've known you for a few years, and I know the type of character you are, and I know that in danger, the only thing that will stop Umaru is death, and
Mm.
as long as you're breathing, you're still out here. So, I mean, it's obviously a tough adjustment to make, but I also thought of something cool. I
Mm.
think it opens up a new realm for you in performance. I've always wanted to do a film with you, but I think now singashaya sci-fi.
Yeah,
Sikunike
Robocop.
yabo
Ah,
into I'm telling you. I'm telling you.
yeah, that's good about acting because there is no star part.
Mm,
You wake up blind,
mm.
you can still be written. Good, here we see a blind man.
Yeah, you played a blind character.
Yes, I did. Stunze.com.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. No. Ngiyakuzwa mfana omdala. Uh, Now, what are you busy with?
So we're working on season 2, Yelembe.
Mm.
So abantu basemakhaya ningangihluphi anymore. Yes. Like
Mm.
everywhere I go, mengize Shoprite bangimisa abantu
Mm.
babuza nge-season 2 all the time. So
Yeah,
that's coming out. I'm also working on some music,
yeah.
which I think I'm very excited about. There's an
Mm.
album that I'm working on, as well as my mixtape and my singles.
Okay.
So yeah, I'm very excited about
What is a mixtape?
a mixtape. Is just basically it's something before an album,
An EP,
an
like
EP. Yeah, it's
maybe
just
3
like
tracks or 4 tracks.
yeah, I want to do maybe 6 just to give people something solid. It's just to show people a taste of the type of
What is
music.
coming?
Yeah, I'm working on, and the type of sounds. So I've been cooking. In Spanish, I think I've done
Mm.
about 150 songs.
Mm.
So ngisawa compile one manje, trying to
Yeah.
get a nice
Find the best
yeah.
out of this 150. Definitely out of 150, there must be five of the best.
Yes, sir.
So which genre do you sing?
Ngenza yonke into. Me, the thing is, the music.
Oh, you are versatile.
Yeah, the music that I consume inspires me. So ngavuka namhlanje ngilalele uSjava, kusasa I'm listening to Thandiswa Mazwai, the next day I'm listening to, I don't know, some American Billie Eilish or something. So music one reflects that as well. So I've got songs from piano stuff to kwaito to hip hop to R&B,
Yeah.
and there's a new sound. It's a sound. I'm here with some of the producers.
Okay.
But their sound, there's this
3-step.
angazi ngizokudlalela yona sound entsha nje,
What's a new sound?
Yeah, so I've really been trying to, because I think also what's important as a musician is to have your sound, because
Yeah.
people like uSjava umedlala from the first time many beats
uSjava
ingoma kaSjava or whatever, so I was really trying to find that as an artist. So we've been working for about 2 years now, and I think I found the sound that's a bit unique.
Oh, you found your voice.
Yeah.
You found where your voice can suit very well.
Yes, sir.
You find your identification in music.
Yes, sir.
So do you have any awards?
For acting, I've got an award. BRICS. It's like a BRICS, some international award. But for me, I don't know. I'm not motivated by my awards.
Yeah.
I really appreciate if people, do. It's a good sign that you're working in the right direction. But for me, my motivation to do this has never been awards. It's just been to make meaningful art.
Yeah.
Because what I realized, like growing up, a lot of my favorite actors, like Nsengane, I loved Jim Carrey, I loved Will Smith, I loved Eddie Murphy, and they never got awards. But for me, they touched me. I love their performances. I love watching, the things that they do. So it's never been like the main reason why I do what I do. So if they want to give me, I'll take it. But if
Yeah, me too. I don't have an acting award.
Yeah.
But I've got 4 music awards.
Yeah. You don't have an acting award?
I don't have
You
acting
know.
award.
But Mona, guys, wrong to Mona straight with my love.
I don't have an acting award. I
No,
don't
no,
remember.
no.
You always play lead.
Yeah, yeah.
Have you play different, like supporting?
Yeah. So a lot of the stuff that I did coming up was mainly supporting roles. But I think Umonin as well, part of the mentorship, she explained to me the importance of playing leads at a
Mm,
particular age, especially from
yeah.
like 25 till about 40. That's when it can build you to become a household face, household name, which helps you stay employed for longer.
Mm,
So for me, I've been fortunate to play supporting roles, but a lot of them I've never shined in it. That's why a lot of
mm,
people don't know that stuff. But I also feel the role of a supporting actor is also not to shine. It's in the name. You must lift, the lead character up.
mm.
So for me, yeah, I'm blessed to have played a lot of leads, but yeah, I've done both sides of it.
Now you are a brand.
Yes, sir.
How would you like to use your brand?
Yo, that's a big question. I think number one, I come from a small town, you know, and I realize that there's a lot of talent in places like where I come from, but there's no bridge. For me, I was fortunate that I went to a school where some kids went to AFTA and came back and whatnot.
Mm,
So backs is to imagine a path that you can walk. It's okay, but I feel there's no bridge for most people. A lot of kids that grow up around Joburg at least are fortunate because they see this industry happening around them. But I think there's a lot of talented people I grew up with that they're talented musicians, talented actors, talented people in the arts in general that don't have the opportunity. So hopefully, as my career grows, I can build a bridge for people in places that aren't Johannesburg. And shows like Uzalo are very important because KwaZulu Natal, it's always been the narrative has always been you have to go to Joburg to have a career. And for other people, it's not possible to Makaya, to move to the city because a Ikoliabisa, compared to a lot of other places around the world.
and
From
igoli
food,
liyagunyana.
Liakwinyana, ngapha,
Mm,
likhulu, there's all these challenges. So I want to really be able to do, something maybe similar to like Tyler Perry, where I
mm,
build a studio back home or something
yeah,
where
yeah,
we can create work for
yeah.
abantu from those type of
That's
places.
how you're going to use your brand.
Yes.
Then, along your journey, what will be your destination?
Ish. I don't I don't believe in destinations. I believe
Mm,
in goals because I think life is evolving.
yeah,
I don't want to set a goal for myself. Achieve in 45, manje ngenze.
mm.
So for me, there's always
Life no limit.
yeah.
Keep going.
So even after I build a studio, I'll come up with something else. It's okay, manje, maybe let's build a school. Let's build. So I don't imagine an end. I'm gonna keep doing it until it's my time to go.
Yeah. Since you become the Mohang Tsipa that we know now, one of the best actors in the world, what pisses you off?
Bad actors.
Bad actors.
Hey, it's terrible. It's terrible. It's terrible. But I mean, it's part of the industry. It is Sakula, so
Mm,
you know. But like Lions, I'm sure you've encountered it a lot. The
mm.
attitude yomfake. And
Yeah.
abantu bayafakwa. Hey, lapho umuntu nje ibasic umuntu akakwazi ukushaya imark.
Adding five.
Uthi ngifake bamfake.
People are looking for a shortcut,
Hey,
but you can't go to the doctor and say five.
you understand?
No, you need to go to school and
Yeah.
learn to become a doctor.
Yeah.
So we as actors, anytime somebody comes, five.
Yeah, and it's like I wish it was that simple. Now I wish Kono Mfagile. Unfortunately, I had to do 3 years
Mm,
university for this thing. I had to go to countless auditions, but it takes 10 years to make an overnight success. It's taken almost 14 years for me to get to where I am,
mm,
manje. And for people that discovered me this year or last year, they just think, oh, lo mfana uvele wafika wanga-" it's not that simple.
mm.
You must put in a lot of work, to get to that level. to understand the business, how to navigate. Because even when you get given the opportunity, but how you navigate yourself in the business is also something that you need experience with. Because what ends up happening, abanye abantu rush to the top very quickly.
mm,
Manje i-contract isilungu awusazi. Ugcina
mm,
usayina into ebhedayo. Ugcina usukhalela abantu babo ukuthi hey, no industry but you never spend the time going through the steps, having to understand everything to A, understand the value yakho, B, understand what your limits are as well. Because as much as all of us feel we're worth 50 million, you know what I mean? A UK artist thing, I tell you, I'm 5 rand. But for you to be able to get to that level where you charge 50 million, you must understand the business, understand your worth, and understand yonke into holistically, so that nawe musu ubeka i-counter offer yakho uyayijustify ungavele uthi ya funa 7 million. How, why must you get 7? Oh, Will Smith can explain ukuthi lalela mina, when my movie's there, I'm gonna pull at least 3 million tickets in the box office. That's why he charges so much, you know. So yeah, those type of people are bathandi nje.
Yeah, bad actors,
Yeah.
abantu abathi ngifake. What are the elements to load on a journey to success?
I think the most key ingredient is hard work and a spirit of learning. You know, you can never know anything, you can never know everything, so you must stay curious, speak to those that have walked the journey before you, and really sit with them. I'm sure Yakumbuna, every time I used to sit with you, I'm always asking questions about the business, asking, you know, what else, because I think one thing I learned from you is also how to exist more outside of your immediate space, like how like your livelihood wasn't just dependent on you acting. You had your businesses on the side, you had your schools, you had your agencies, all these type of things. And for me, that's what's helped me, you know, gain the success that I have now, is being hungry and learning from people that are wiser than me, and also hard work. There was a very famous quote, actually, Will Smith, Wati, the reason he's successful is like, if you and him get on a treadmill, he'll only get off first. I mean, he'll never get off first. He will only die. That's the only way he'll lose. And that attitude of, you know, working that hard would say, okay, if you see somebody, for example, as umuntu that's similar to you, what are they doing to stay right? Okay, like manje, what's the fashion name? Amachita kumele abe fit. So manje mungekho fit uzoba mad.
Yeah.
So now if you gym and train, it puts you in a better position. That's part of the hard work. You know, diversity in your skill set. So you must consume different types of art, because if you just consume in day one, I mean, naturally whatever you put in your body is what will come out, you know. So you must teach yourself to consume izinto eziningi that are, you know, draw inspiration from different places.
Yeah. How did you overcome fear coming from Mpangeni to Johannesburg, knowing that Johannesburg there's drugs, there's slave queens, there's gold diggers, there's party animals, there's a disease of misusing money, bankruptcy, not getting work. Remember, you left friends Mpangeni, and you know the situation yasemakhaya, ukuthi situation enjani. Here you are today, you've made it. How do they look up to you? And then how did you overcome everything that I've quoted?
So I think I can't take credit for that.
Yeah.
The credit goes to my parents and Kuliswe, you know, are very, very wise people. And they taught me the value of money from a young age. So when I was in primary school, already I had businesses at school, and there's popcorn and there's in. So they stopped giving me pocket money.
Okay.
So I learned that thing. Zero zero move from there now. You pay imali yakho. Very obviously necros and stuff. When your friends are going to the movies or going, you know, whatever, I didn't have it unless I worked for it. So it taught me the value of hard work, and it taught me the value of money. And then layer of partying and drugs. My parents were also very protective of me, and also, you know, growing up in a black family, we have relatives that almost every black person has a relative that's part of substance abuse in one way or another.
Mm.
Either malumo phuza kakhulu or cousin obhema in. And I really saw their lives, man. And for me, it was not appealing. You know, I didn't want to be that guy. I'm feeling about 40, ngisahlala nomama,
Mm.
ngicela ingwangwi black room. You know, I've always wanted to be an independent person. So for me, those things have never been um, appealing to me.
Mm.
Um, Slay queens and all that stuff goes back to protecting money. You know,
Mm.
I mean, I don't like spending money on girls like that. You know, I was raised. My mom is a very independent woman. Then I look at Lady Man Baba. If she wanted something, so I grew up in a household with women that are able to do it for themselves. So they jam my hand out. I've just never identified with little energy, you know. And as for the people back home, there's a few guys that had it tough, you know, growing up and still namanji basa fereza, you know. I try to motivate them, but what I learned also is to not feed into them damn handouts because like a lot of the times like mansions when we kaya in December. I know there's gonna be guys and let's accept it. It's all you know, where's my beer? For me I've taught myself not to do that. You know, I don't buy beers for people because like celebrates or whatever or that kind of stuff. I can get in yama for us miss chili this day, you know, having fun, but most of the time it must also be a constructive setting, you know. Like most of the time I'm always with about do that with building into each other's lives and people that don't really contribute like that or don't have something to like if I can't help you and you can't help me, your friendship yet is limited and yes it's not but I won't do, you know, favors for people like that. For me I want to progress with
Yeah.
among and bam, yeah.
Let's talk about entrepreneurship.
Yeah.
How important it was and how important it is uh, to have a business.
Mm. I think for me as an artist, you know, learning from the likes of you and a lot of other people, it's the most crucial thing because i- umsebenzi esiwenzayo is seasonal. And right now I'm having a good season.
Mm.
But ngavuka next year
Yeah.
sekuthiwa hhayi usedura kakhulu lo muntu asifuna ukuxhumana
Mm.
naye. And if you don't have other forms of, you know, ability to make money, you'll find yourself I'll find myself on Twitter next year. Ngikhalela imzansi ngicela ama-5,000 ngoba sekushubile, you know. So for me it's an incredibly important aspect, and it's something that I've been building. I've been working on my music business. I'm working on gear rental. Um, yeah, and hopefully that stuff's gonna build into more stuff at a production company also at some stage. So it's you can't, no matter how high your success is in the arts, you can't rely on just one thing because even Mupega, a Hollywood, the Premier League of the artists, even the biggest actors, umuntu uzoqeda ekushaya imovie manje uhola $20 million, mara uthatha that same money and puts it into another company.
I
Like,
reinvest.
yeah, Ryan Reynolds uqeda ukuthenga a soccer team manje, you know. So it's important, and also not just for money, but for your mind
Mm.
to stay healthy. Human beings are designed to work. Lento yama-holiday the whole time, emotion ingqondo. When you look at people who live like they're on holiday the whole time, mentally they're not fine. The people that are the most mentally balanced are people that are able to build routines and work. So for me, yeah, it's important for all those reasons.
What are your other talents besides music and acting?
My other talents, I'm a great cinematographer,
Cinema,
DOP.
top, DOP,
Yeah.
cameraman.
Yeah, I can shoot. I can shoot.
Yeah.
I can edit.
Okay.
I can almost everything in post production. I think one of the things that I learned because I went to a proper film school, I made sure, and it was expensive.
Yeah.
I made sure I'm not free period. When I've got time off, I'm sitting in another class, even if it's not my course. So I learned how to shoot. I know how to light. I know how to do sound. I know how to do almost everything in the film industry on a professional level, which, you know, for me it's a very useful skill set. There was a stage where when I started acting, umsebenzi usaslow. I used to do camera work. I used to do sound just to survive in between. So for me, also, if shubile, is behind the scenes.
Behind the scenes.
Yeah.
Jack of all trades.
Yes, sir.
No, ngiyabuzwa. What can be your advice to the professional actors who don't make it, but they've been there for years? They've made money,
Yeah.
but they've blown the money.
Number.
They have none today as we speak. When they die, they will need donation from the TikTok. They don't have funeral covers,
Yeah.
no medical, no investment, no house, no sustainability of economy.
I think the best thing that those people can do is, I mean, if you've been in the business for long enough, you have contacts. You know, there's people that you know. Get on the phone, call every favor, and make productions for yourself. But this also goes to young actors. I think we live in an era now where the internet is new, and there's all these platforms where people can consume your content. And the value in what we do is in how many people are watching it. You know. So if, for example, you're like a MacG and you have 1 million subscribers, the value is in an audience of 1 million people, you know. And if you've been in the industry for a long enough time, people do know you, people recognize you, or even if they don't know you, you can build that. So my thing is, even if it's something as small as starting to shoot a series, we follow Instagram, we follow YouTube, but work, because you can build, you can rebuild. I don't think there's ever a stage where it's too late. There's so many people.
It's never be late for a man.
Yeah, there's so many people above when everybody counted them out. So I think believe in yourself, wake up and work. And when you're in control of your own work, you can make more money than you've ever made in your whole life.
If you're Gayton McKenzie, Minister of Arts and Culture, Sports and Recreation, what would you change?
I would ask Cyril to kindly sign that document that we've been crying about for active royalties for years, because I don't know what more we must do, because that's what the conversation is. The shorty signature.
The royalties.
The royalties.
Wow, what is the royalties?
So basically, every time our shows play, with the exception of SABC, on all these platforms, whether it's ETV,
outside the country,
outside, you know, South African actors aren't protected. So it's Pansetu is generating revenue for some people, but it doesn't come down to us.
Tina, you get paid once off.
You get paid once, and if you didn't, that's why it goes back to the negotiation of contract. If your contract wasn't proper, wasana now shade into a holy 500. You paid up your 500.
Don't you think it's difficult to read a contract because it's 100 pages, thousands, acts, and sections, and
everything
paragraphs, and what?
You have to learn that. It's part of it.
It's part of it.
It's like it's like being a soccer player. How are you? As an artist, the only two things you have is your contract and your talent. And if one is strong and the other is weak, you suffer. If you don't have talent but you're good at contracts, if you're good at talent but you don't know how to read a contract, and those oftentimes most people that end up bitter in the industry are people that never understood the contract side of it. It's the most, that's part of the school thing. That's why omfake bayadimali bayafaka umuntu engazi. Evele TV, the lead in some show,
umuntu athi ufuna ukucula uthi cula athi angeke ngicule la kanti ufuna ukucula kuphi ufuna ukuyocula nabo Danny K Sibeko athi uthi cula la estudini la athi no, I can't sing here. No, ngiyakuthola. So it's very important to understand the contract. Okay, our major challenge is the royalties.
Yes.
The repeat fees.
That's the biggest one. The biggest one, because there's no reason why a person in your position shouldn't be able to retire now. Look, you've done so much work over the years.
But to producers, the owner of the particular content receive money, receive royalties.
depending on the platforms, some
depend on the deal,
yeah,
the strike.
yeah,
There's what is it? Batini, but commissioner,
yeah.
licensing, or it depends.
It depends. So it's case by case. There's some cases where producers do own the content and
Yeah.
they do get royalties. There's some cases where supplier completely buys them out as well. So
Yeah.
that's when you find those ones where they're really trying to cut costs and save money so that at least they can also walk away with something. So I think it's case by case. But then if this thing gets signed, then I kulun. It's not. I don't need to fight with any. For me, I think the worst part is the nitty gritties where now people are fighting and whatnot. Business shouldn't have a fight. Business, you sign a contract, you do your part, I do my part. We move, And I feel that artists contribute enough to society. This is art. People are consuming us right now. People consume us when they listen to music, And if you were to take art away from the world right now, you're removing televisions, you're removing music, you're removing sports, basically anything that's entertainment, which basically means if you don't feel art is valuable,
then there will be war. No entertainment.
Nothing.
There's nothing like a child during school holidays is walking to a mall, then he come across you, asking for an autograph. Or there won't be such.
There won't be like with Shada Ilembe, we're capturing the culture here too and showing people, how amazing we were back in the days. We can't see what society looks like now with shows like, like for example, in your time, Yizo, that was a mirror on society at the time. So we'll lose out on all of that stuff. And I think it's still very important and it helps us as a society move forward and also just get through our life, man. Imagine 1 month without music and just 2
no commercial, no art, no department.
And in a way, this thing not being signed is pushing it there because now there's a few artists that aren't able to maneuver and make, a decent living. So now umuntu mesebona uma-orange kwi-taxi. For me, if I had a dream of being an actor, ngiyathuka manje ngithi hayibo manje ngaka has been working on so many things manje still usale kule level there. Maybe I don't. Now you're killing dreams, you're killing potential. And when you look at what art can do, even beyond the local scene, you look at the exports we have, Otusum Petu, Trevor Noah, Tyler, we're able to take the beauty of Africa and bring it to the world, We're killing all of that supply chain, man.
What do you think about Americans portraying South African stories? And at the same time, why destination has to be United States of America?
So I think I don't mind whoever plays South African roles. The thing I mind is how well do you do it. If you do it well, and I believe you, like, for example, in Blood Diamond, Leonardo was playing a guy from
Leonardo DiCaprio.
Yeah. Even his voice, everything about him was convincing. I didn't feel like I'm watching.
Where he was a journalist.
Yeah. I don't mind that. But what I don't like is when an American is playing Thabo Mbeki and saying, I'm Thabo Mbeki. That for me, no. Because the thing is, when we are given the opportunity to play American roles, I'm going to let this guy slap. I got to be a hood nigga, you know what I'm saying? I got to talk like American, So I think they need to respect our art and our culture in the way that they portray it. And I think the reason why the destination has always been Hollywood is because the industry is more developed. So the professionalism there is on a different level. I remember I shot an international movie in Cape Town called The Dark Tower with Idris Elba and Matthew McConaughey. So Magneta that day, and I'm used to local productions. Magneta, I day off if it's exterior scenes or West Texas. But then there's a cherry picker, like this big thing. Yavala maybe half of a soccer field. I'm raining, shoot. you know, and the scale, the size of the sets, the amount of extras, the amount of, you know, the costumes, the details, all of that stuff. I think it's just a beautiful working environment. I think that's A. B is also the reward. Imali eholwa laphana gothi imali yami.
Iningi.
Aye, aye, aye. So I recently shot another thing with Netflix um, called Ludic. And over there, I had the fortune of working with Arnold Vosloo,
Mm.
who was also one of the expats that, you know, we exported to America and he came back. And bengihlala naye, me curious as I am, just gaining knowledge from him. Hi, I went to that side of earning like Premier League soccer players per week. Ngena imali nje ongakaze uyicabanga ukuthi uzoyihola until you die. Mara yena uyithola every week, you know. So I think that for any person that works, you know, at the end of the day, I'm not saying we do this for money, but it is our career. And you know, the more
No, we don't have to say that. We do it for money.
yeah,
It's it's our job. It's like being a doctor.
yeah,
It's
yeah,
like being a traffic inspector. We need to pay bills. We need to have
Yeah.
money.
yeah,
Angithi iyo lento ekhosa ukuthi abantwana bethu bangabi inspired
mm,
when they admire an actor.
mm,
Here's an actor is living in a shack.
mm,
Here's an actor doesn't have a car,
Mm.
and a gangster is
Mm.
driving a C63.
mm,
So how will the child follow you
mm,
if you are not an inspiration to him?
yeah,
What inspired me as a child when I look for a role model, when my role model is lending money from a gangster?
yeah.
No, we need to have money.
No, it's very true.
And I know we came across the situation whereby most of the productions we shoot, it's low budget.
Yeah.
Have you ever been in a production, they say it's a high budget?
Yes, Shaka 11.
Shaka 11.
Hey, no, I don't want to lie.
Yeah.
It just everything about it feels different, you know. Like even and it's small things like waking up ekuseni uvuwazi ukuthi une-trailer yakho
Yeah.
abasifake erumini sibaye 15 manje
Yeah.
sihlezi nje
Green
couch kabuhlungu no
Mm.
unegoli lakho
Une-room lakho.
yeah
Yeah.
amalayini kahle kunombhede uma ufuna ukulala kune-couch yabo kune-TV. So I think yeah I've been blessed to be able to work on one of the first high budget
Yeah.
shows in the Mzansi, and I hope we get a lot more because
Mm.
ebuhlungu lento yama-green room
Mm.
ngapha mhlawumbe uthole ukuthi you have an emotional scene. I mean, I'm not saying that we must
And you
be
can't get
antisocial.
into it because
Yeah, kuyahlekwa.
people are talking parties there.
Yeah.
And when you need a certain moment to fit the character.
Mm.
It's very important.
Mm.
Ngikuzwa kahle. What's your last message? More especially to the youth. Now, before that,
Mm.
I come across the social media. We have many podcasts right now.
Mm.
And I think the major discussion is about spirituality.
Mm.
We were born and we were baptized
Mm.
with the name of Jesus Christ.
Mm.
We've been to school, we've been to assembly, we told about Jesus Christ.
Mm.
Here we are now, we're reaching 50s, we are in the 40s.
Mm.
Some will come and tell you Jesus Christ never existed.
Mm.
Some talks about I met Jesus Christ.
Mm.
What's your take on that? As part of the country.
Hey, for me, you know, angangifakazeli into when I wasn't there. You know, I've personally never met Jesus like that, but I've lived a life of extreme favor, you know, and for me, it's hard to pinpoint it to one, you know, person. I'm grateful to, you know, the people that came before me, Abawatsiba, that, you know, had to meet in order for me to be here because they're very important. Grateful to God for creating me. But even for me, even the concept, I don't know, for me it's a weird concept because every conversation you'll never really get to the truth because uNkulunkulu as a whole, if you believe in God, then the one thing we can agree to is a human being can't understand God. A fish doesn't know what the ocean is. A fish comes from the ocean. So the concept of God is so big that I don't think any human being can articulate it with justice. You know, so for me it's something which it's a conversation I can't even get into because umuntu okutshela ukuthi uyazi unamanga waziphi isencane, it's like wazi lokho okwazi
Was la ayikhe khona.
yeah, and that's enough for you. So for me, I think spirituality should definitely be that. You must scoop your handful, figure it out for yourself, and move because there's times where, if I don't know, just because something worked for me, benelin doesn't mean I can prescribe it to you. You know what I'm saying? So I think there's so many different solutions and so many different ways to it that which just explains how big God is that, when people try to box it into their own understanding, I think it's mainly just a personal journey that everybody needs to understand for themselves, but there's no one size fits all for umuntu.
Yeah, no, I was aware about this before it came. Guti, at a certain age of our lives, somebody might come and say Jesus never existed.
Mm-hmm.
I was aware.
Yeah.
There's a lot of confusers in this world. My advice will be, it's your right to listen to everybody when he speaks or when she speaks. It's your right. I mean, we are in the digital migration world. Social media is transparent. It's accessible to everyone. But it's up to you, what do you take and what do you leave? All right, Lemohang Tsipa, your last message, last thing that you want to say, maybe you didn't say, maybe I didn't come across that question, I didn't ask you anything maybe that you wanted to say that it's in your heart. We are closing the episode now. You can say anything that you want to say. Here are the people.
Yeah, I think, I don't know, there's nothing a lot that I want to say. I just think we should, as a nation, just, have more love, on a daily basis for each other. And we should bring back a bigger sense of community, lento of being cold to people suffering around us. Like, there's a weird statistic, like, there's enough food in South Africa for everybody to be obese, but there's still people that sleep hungry. So I don't know.
And that won't change.
But it has to.
We talk about reality now.
No, it has to. For me, the thing is, things start in a small way. If we had this conversation,
no, in the society that we live in, that will never happen.
If
not everyone will drive a car.
No,
not everyone will have a house.
I'm not saying we should all.
Yeah. So that's the system. I can't fight the system that I can never overcome.
Yeah.
I'm real like that.
Yeah.
I believe in reality. That's the reality. Sometimes I hate the system of our nation. It seems like our nation, we are the nation that creates problems or wait for problems. And after, we must discuss the solution of the problem.
Yeah.
Why don't we prevent the problem before the problem becomes the problem? So that's really. Sesibadala siyafa ngasidala siyemapensionini silanda ama-60. The next generation will be talking the same language. It's just a confusion. So mina ngithi kumuntu, do what you've been doing. Do what you believe. What's your spiritual strength? During nightmares, maybe you don't have work, or you feel down, or you are in a situation of sadness. How do you uplift yourself?
For me, it's belief. I don't think there's anybody in the world that has stronger faith than me in anything. Like, for me, I believed I'd be in this position that I'm in. I believed I'd play Shaka Zulu before the audition, and for me, the things that I believe in come to pass. So for me, my faith is the biggest thing and my biggest motivator because it makes me understand how limitless I am. In my abilities. That's why I was saying the message I was saying. I think I believe in, the same way how during apartheid, it didn't seem conceivable for Black people to be in a position where we can own houses now, and not just any houses. It's Black people with mansions, it's Black people with Ferraris, it's Black people with big businesses that own mines, own, all these incredible things that weren't possible. And for me, I believe in a world where we, are doing well just as a whole people, you know, the same way, like, because pre-colonial Europe, white people were suffering. If you read the history of the European 500, 600 years ago, it was bad. Disease, plague, poverty, what, bavuka. Granted, bavuke ngathi, but bavukile at the end of the day. And I feel our society and our people can also rise.
Do you believe Shaka Zulu's story is the true story?
Hey, there's a lot of confusion in that story, in a sense that there's so many different versions of it. And I think when somebody is as great as he is, you know, there's so many different takes on what it was that made this person who he was. So I think there's definite elements of it that are based on truth, but part of it is also a myth, you know, because the guy achieved. So it's like if you can shine in 2 weeks later, Mona, next week, you know. So I think there is an element of that happens, you know, through history. But I think the basis of it is still based on a real man that woke up and decided to take a kingdom by force and did it so well that people wear it with pride to this day.
If you never came across in a situation whereby Shaka was the light skin?
There's many. There's the light skin. There's the light skin Shaka. There's the Shaka that I heard on Amalim that didn't speak well, and because of that, that's why he was short tempered.
Okay.
You know, there's so many different kind of views on this guy, but for me, I don't.
Let's go with what we are told.
You know what I mean? Yeah, it's hard to.
Let's go with what it was documented by the first writers of the world.
Yes, and the thing is, even then, no matter how light-skinned he is, to a white man, you're black. So when he wrote it, he would write it black. You know what I mean?
And it's like Jesus Christ. Yeah. Jesus Christ was not white.
Yeah. Not at all. He was a.
But now, Jesus.
Leo Amanga, that was straight.
Yeah. So we go with what we are feeded. We go with what we are feeded with. Okay, where do people find you? I know you are a musician now. You've got a lot of things. Yes. We are in the social media. Tell people where to find you.
So on all platforms, Twitter, X, Facebook, Instagram, all of them. Lemogang Tsipa.
Yes. All the way. My brother, thank you very much.
It's been a big honor.
Siyabonga, Lemogang. Ladies and gentlemen, subscribe, comment, like. By so doing, we are together. Salute. Ghetto Professor, JP Orange.